what I'm going to do is try to elaborate a bit more how the market function and how you could also ride on the news trading as well. So you might learn from your college professor that the market is efficient, meaning that when you see a news in the media, circulating around the media, if you rely on that news and then buy in the market, you cannot possibly make any profit because the market is efficient, and by the news it hits the media, the commodity price is automatically pricing in a new price so that you are not able to get in time in order to profit, because you are not speedy enough, you are not the institutional traders, and you do not have the insider information. So in general, the market news is unrelated to us. It is not a tool for us to profit in the market. But wait, is it really the case that it is functioning as if the market like this? This might be true if there's like a small market news that is hitting the market. Maybe like minor news that is going to change 1 or 2% of the commodity price, then the market can very well price in the new price in the next second. So we are not able to catch inside those time frame and then get profit. But this is definitely not true if we are talking about like a big news, major news, that it takes time to grow to the price target. As in the 5 days news trading webinar, if you do not know what it is about, later you can ask about Agnes, what is that about? But some of the videos, some of the students here should have watched through the 5 days news trading webinar. We share the example of the Japanese yen that in order for it to depreciate 10%, it might need 3 months to do it. And then we can also participate in this 3 months time frame and then get 1,000 pips profit. This is 10% of the Japanese yen depreciation, can get profit from that. So the market is efficient in small news, but the market is inefficient in major news. And how we are going to profit from it? So this time I made a marijuana. I picked a marijuana stock, and then the first step on how we could profit on news. The step 1 is we scan all the major news for those marijuana stocks. So I've just picked a recent 5 major news that randomly out of all the news that all the marijuana stock has. So we got April 26th that this one, the marijuana stocks, Canopy Growth Corporation. This is one of the largest market cap stock in the market of the marijuana stock market, and it is going to set up at Asia Pacific HQ in Victoria on April 26th. And then on June 8th, there's another news that Canada Senate votes to legalize recreational marijuana. And then 24th of August, marijuana patents infringement case filed. And September the 5th, marijuana research showed that there's an increase of cortical activation in their users. So a new development for the brain research. And October 26th, Georgia, the former state of Soviet Union, could become the first country to export legal marijuana. So you might be confused by all this different kind of news, and then you don't know which news that could bring you profit. So the technique that I use is you just have to take notice of this news date, news releasing date, and map it back to the chart, to a chart. So this chart is the company that we talk about, Canopy Growth Corporation, and this is listed on Toronto Stock Exchange. There's another, he is also listed in the New York Stock Exchange with another code. I think it's CGC, but on the Toronto Stock Exchange, it is REIT. So this news I've copied from the last page, and then these vertical lines are those days in chronological order. So this is April 26, and then this is June 8. So the first thing you need to do is try to check if there's like big, if this news explain like a big bottom or big top, or there's like a great move before or after this news. So let us check each one of this. Like this one, setting up Asia Pac headquartered in Victoria. Supposedly it is a good news, right? So April 26 here, it brings along the stock market increase. So this might be affecting. The thing that we are trying to do is try to see if this stock is sensitive to this news. So there's a big long rally after this. So this might be a possible theme of this news. So every stock will have some theme of its own. And then we are now checking if this news is one of those themes. And then we go on to the next one. The Canada Senate votes to legalize the recreational marijuana. And here it also has a greater. It also has a great rally after this. So this could be also possible theme of this stock. And then now August 24th, this patent infringement case filed in United States. Supposedly it is a bad news. So August 24th is this vertical line, but then it doesn't affect the market for a long time, and then it struck off this news and then continue to rise. So this is irrelevant to this theme of the stock. We know there's like on every stock there's a theme, but then we don't know what theme it is. So we are trying to see which is the correct theme. So this is the break cross. This is not the theme, but this is the potential theme. This is the potential theme. And then September 5th, there's a research showing that it helps the brain function for the marijuana. And this one, September 5th, supposedly this is a good news again, but the market fall. So this is not part of the ongoing theme this stock is going to have. And then this one, the Georgia may be the first country to export legal marijuana. So this one, we still do not know it is going down or up. So we do not know this. But then at least we can sort of sort it out. This is not the right one. This is not the right one. So we try to do the second step, which we want to identify the theme of the market. And then the second step is pull out all the similar news of this nature. So if we suspect this theme, we'll try to find out if Canopy Growth Corporation, if there's any other headquarter or regional office being set up in other time frame and other timeline, other time, and then if it helps the stock to increase. If the other same nature of news doesn't help to explain the major top and bottom, then it is not that theme. So I try, in order to save time, I tried this one, I tried this one, and I tried this one, trying to pull all the similar news, and then I found that here. So remember here, the Canada Senate voted to legalize the recreational marijuana on June the 8th. So I've pulled out all the similar news, like this is Canada June the 8th, and then this is when the USA vote yes for legalizing marijuana. And this is when USA start to sell the recreational marijuana to the public. And this is when the first day the Canada start to sell the first recreational marijuana to the public. So then you can see that this sort of voting yes for legalizing marijuana and then start selling in a country thus helps to explain the major top of all the stock movement. So by reading this, I understand that marijuana is going for this legit theme. It is very like Bitcoin because both of them is very new to the stock market or into the investment market. And then there's a lot of controversial topic is around it, whether or not it should be legalized, whether or not like age 21 should be consumed marijuana like alcohol. So it is very it is taking the path to become more and more legit around the globe. So I expect with this theme, with this legit theme, I expect what will affect like later, what will help this stock to achieve greater stock price. It is like Canada is just one of the G7 country. What about the other countries, Europe, Italy, German, UK, and Japan and Russia? So if they also legalize it, I'm sure that this marijuana stock will create new highs by later. So it is very same as it going the Bitcoin legit theme. If you remember from the video, the Japan and the South Korean accepting the Bitcoin to flow as in national currency, and then it helps it to bring up the price. So this is just very similar theme. If more countries accept marijuana as like recreational and medical use of its for its nation, then the price will go up. So the another thing is we need to, because most of the marijuana use, most of the sales is not actually for the recreational use. Most of them is for the medical use. So if there's like great development of the medical use application, then the stock price will grow furthermore because it will elicit more sales for the marijuana. So we know the theme is the legit theme, and we know what is affecting or is going to affect the marijuana stock. So now what? So now we wait for the noise. Noise is the like money-making machine. So why? What by definition? What is the noise? Because the noise, because the market, although you know that marijuana is like a booming industry, and then it is very new, more and more people will accept this as like a recreational and medical use, but it cannot like in the Japanese yen example. This one, despite at this time as the first U.S. votes that they will legalize marijuana, this stock cannot rise like $70 in like the next second because this is a major news. They need to take like a period of time to grow to this target. So it takes like, this is November 2016, and now it's 2018, October, around November. So it takes like 2 years to increase the very sevenfold because of this single news. This single news is what we can follow, and still we can profit in the market. And that's very similar when they vote yes for allowing Canada to sell recreational marijuana. This is another news that we can follow because we know the market cannot rise like $30 in 1 second. So they need to take some time to do this. Otherwise, the market will be a chaos. So it always needs some time to grow, to take the growth, the price growth. So the noise is something that irrelevant to the market development of that theme. Say we know the theme is legit theme. So always there's a lot of news, different things happening in the market. But then if something like the nature of the theme is it is going to have a great price rally because marijuana is going to be more and more legit, right? So if there's something happening bad in the market, but it is irrelevant to these two developments, it is irrelevant to people accepting more and more people accepting the marijuana recreation and medical use, and it is irrelevant to the medical development of its application. So I regard those as the noise. And then since every market has different theme, so every market has different noise. It is anything unrelated to the theme. So because the market cannot go up forever, the noise will give us like a very good place to long the market again. So it is an opportunity that the market is going opposite to the theme. So I have picked the fix, the volatility index for reference, and this is the S&P fix, and the fix increase whenever there's like a big plunge in the stock market. So this is the second time we see a fix increase where the stock market in general is plunging. But then you can see from the last example, if we buy at this time, we'll profit because the development of the theme of the marijuana stock, the Canopy Growth Corporation, it is going to rally. So this, regardless the stock market, unless there's a really great stock market crash, like back in 2007 where there's a Lehman Brothers collapse, otherwise it is going to rise again because this is a noise for the Canopy growth. Like if the stock market crash, think of it, will it affect the two factors that we had? If the stock market crash, does it affect like the medical research of marijuana, the usage, the medical use? So it will not affect, right? So hospital and college will still research in this new legalized element for it to like stop the pain or for other medical use. And then even if the stock market crash, it will not affect the process of legalization for the Europe, the Japan, the Russia. Maybe more people is unhappy, and maybe there's more recreational use of the marijuana. So maybe it is even better for those stocks. So this is definitely a noise. And then this is already the second time it is happening in the market. So what will you do? Of course, we are going to enter into this big rallying market. But so this is very, very similar to the example we have in the five-day news trading workshop, where we know that Amazon stock is going to grow regardless of the development of China-US trade war, because it is irrelevant to the Amazon stock growth for itself. So now we have the noise happening now. So think of this. Most of the marijuana use is for the medical, which is right here, the light blue thing. So if something happened, would it affect the growth of this? If it is not, then it is a noise. So then we should like take this opportunity to ride on this like great rally of these marijuana stock. So this noise give an opportunity for us to long the market. Otherwise, without this noise, the market will be like high in the sky. And then if we enter into the market here, we will have more risk. And by entering here, we will have less risk. And what gives us this opportunity? It is the noise. So in order to profit in the market, actually there is 3 things that we need to master. So number 1 is the underlying trend. So we need to know for a particular stock or maybe for a particular commodity, what is it heading to? Is it going to appreciate a lot in value, or is it going to depreciate a lot in value? Once we know the underlying trend, then what important is the price term. So for this marijuana stock, today is a good enough price, or maybe tomorrow maybe for a little bit more, and maybe we should wait for tomorrow to get in at a lower price, or is it a really decent price that we should take advantage now and long in the market? So the second question is when we should at what price we should get in. And the third one is the time term. We all know that this Canopy growth stock is rallying. So, but we always are afraid that if we enter into the market, is it already at this point? And then it's as if in the Bitcoin example, there's rise, and then big fall at the end. Is this the time that we enter into the market? Is it following with the big fall of the market? So it is very important for us to know when this rally trend will end. And this is the time term we need to master. So, but each of this question is a $1 million question that you see on the $1 million show. So, but then luckily, I've already teach you how to distinguish the underlying trend, which is the theme of the market. You learn it from this webinar, and you also learn it from the 5-day deals trading workshop. So this question is part of solved. Now I'm going to tell you how the price term will